Good day from Rio Grande and Piketon, Ohio, and we have a whole new format for Tech Talk. So while we're getting used to switching the cameras around and moving in and out of Skype, let me introduce our co-hosts with whom you're very familiar, but they're all in a different location. First of all, Mike Thompson.
Hey Taking charge from behind the scenes today.
So not only is Mike in charge of all of our cameras and our audios, but he's flipping in and out of all of our graphic images that we sometimes put up to prompt our conversation. And then coming in through a Skype connection from the downtown studios of Piketon, Ohio, Dwayne Rigsby.
Hi guys.
Now, I know that when we put up a green screen and we do a chroma cast and we put a backdrop behind us, your backdrop is amazing today.
Isn't that a beautiful green screen appearance, huh? I love it. That's the real shop right there.
So, in the true spirit of doing, video blogs and podcastings, it doesn't make any difference where you are as long as you get your technology together to get these signals to come together. And we're glad that we can keep our show on the air for all of you. So, thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Mike. If there's any awkwardness here, we'll get used to flipping back and forth.
We'll get her figured out.
Yeah, apologize for missing August. It was an unforeseen instance, but something that I think you'll appreciate. We had a major power outage here on the Rio Grande campus, and an underground buried power line blew up, and power was just not safe here on campus. This particular building where the Instructional Design and Media Services studio is had some fire alarms going off because the three-phase power was dropped down to a low level and motors started to smoke. It was better that we didn't try to do that. Plus they evacuated us. So enough for that. We've brought forward some of our graphics that we typically use to discuss from the month of August into September's. Plus some new topics. Before we get going, let's see if there's anything that's on anybody's mind that has just come up that we would like to talk about. Mike, you have any hot issues? You mentioned a breach with Equifax.
I'm not sure what that was about. I didn't do a lot of research on it. It was something on change.org. So I don't know if they just want to punish them for doing such things or what. I don't know that there was a bigger breach.
And we can get used to having breaches all the time. It's a matter of whether or not maybe the authorities have levied a fine about the liability and exposure that was created from that. So how about we look into that for next month and see if we can give you an update on that?
I'm sure we'll have some other things going on by then too.
And here I thought that you would be going into the new Apple announcements and the new phones and the wearable devices.
I've been rebuilding the back end of this whole operation here. I got some new equipment and I've been knee deep in wires. So I watched it. I don't know that there was a lot that was remarkable. They did bring out the iPhone 11 and 2 different sizes, I think, a couple different, one with 2 cameras, one with 3 cameras, and they showed a lot as far as video production, which I thought, okay, it may shoot 4K and you can edit on it. Are people going to shoot promotionals and weddings and stuff with your phone? I mean, yeah, it might do a good job, but if you show up with your phone to do a paid job, I don't know if you're taken seriously. And by the way, down at Bob Evans yesterday and today, yesterday they did the outside shots, today they're doing inside shots. They're shooting another commercial. If you want to see a larger production in
Well, I get excited when I hear about the special on turkey dinners and I see the gentleman in front of the barn bringing in a big rack of potatoes because, mashed potatoes, while the kids are playing in the background. I was in a Bob Evans commercial way back when, many years ago. So paid for a new washer and dryer at home. So what
There
can you
you
say?
go. I thought Mike and I and Patrick was going to accidentally be in one. Didn't we walk into one here a couple of months ago, Mike?
Yeah, the same
That was-
company is doing another one.
Yeah. So we just happened to go over there, and there they are. They're shooting and had a corner of the original restaurant roped off and everything. So.
They're doing the same thing today with
Are
the
they?
light out the window to simulate the rising sun.
They know talent when they see it, sir.
Oh yeah, they immediately shuffled us out the door.
Well, we look to Mike to give us updates on all the Apple news, because he's a hardcore Macintosh user and iPhone. I deal with an iPhone as well, but here on campus we deal a lot with our Windows computers.
The other thing that they were talking about was the new Apple TV Plus, which I think was less about hardware and more about their subscription service and their own productions. So,
Well, there's a lot of news about people that are cutting the cords, and whether or not they're going to be continuing with the AT&T, DirecTV, Dish Network type of feeds, your terrestrial Comcast, and whatever comes in from Spectrum cable, versus just having a good stout internet connection and using the devices, whether they be an Apple, Amazon Fire Stick, a Roku, and getting your content that way. I think maybe we need to break that down on a future show, because as we're coming in for Christmas, you never know when somebody needs a new streaming device.
yeah.
Hey, Dwayne,
Yeah.
you're my home automation person. I should say mine. You are your own, and you're an Android user.
Yep.
Remember those switches I gave you?
Yeah.
Have you used them yet?
They work pretty good.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So far, haven't I haven't tested them a bunch yet, but they are working, and I actually got them working with some Wise cameras, and the Wise came out with some sensors that worked pretty good. They have a light bulb now and things, so I'm getting to intermix those with multiple systems.
Are you going off of Google Home, an Echo, or do you have a specific smart hub? Because you were like a Home Depot, Lowe's type of product,
Yeah,
right?
I was going with the Lowe's originally, but I went back to, they actually discontinued theirs. What I did was I followed your lead and went with the Samsung Smart Thing, and it will allow you to attach an Alexa, the mobile voice, and then that's how they can intermingle.
I get a little bit confused when I see the Internet of Things, light bulbs and others working straight off your Google Home, straight off of the Echoes, because they do respond straight to your voice activation without a hub and with a hub.
So the
And I
light
think-
bulb itself is wireless?
Beg your pardon?
So the light bulb itself is wireless? I mean, itself is the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
You technically don't even need a hub or an Echo or anything. It'll work straight out of its own app as well. So,
I see it appearing in both now. Now,
yes.
I associated my smart thing with my Google Home, and then my Google Home shows them, but I don't have the ability to do some of the scheduling and timers yet. It might be there, but I haven't played with it enough.
Weiss is there's several people out there made some YouTube directions, that stuff, and they're using the what is it, the ITF. It's an app out there that if then do this, that to be the middle person for scheduling and stuff for those devices. So it sees one thing go off, and then it'll react to turning on the light bulb. If this sensor goes off or the door, thing opens, turn this light off or turn this one on. So Weiss is kind of making their devices work through that, and that will work through SmartThings.
Are you doing any programming on yours yet?
No, not a lot yet. I'm just touching the surface, really.
In our house, there are members who have a basic fear of things that go through the air. I think we've discussed
Oh,
this.
yes.
Like red, right?
Well, we had an incident where middle of the night I wake up and I'm hearing something.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like there's an attack in the chicken coop.
Oh.
So I go, Google, all lights on. Nothing happens.
You got a smart coop too, though, right?
I didn't say, hey, Google, all lights on.
Right.
But when I did, hey, Google, all lights on, our house lit up. Living room, porch lights, outside at the garage, outside of the chicken coop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I sold the concept by having that one incident.
Having that one thing. Yeah.
I mean, it's still creepy, but, for some people.
It's something you got to get used to, when you're not into the tech stuff, and but even at that, I've got some, just the the home motion lights is sometimes freaks people out, and I've even went a little step farther with motion lights is add battery motion lights, and they're way out there, and they're like, how are you turning that on? It's like, well, I can't tell you that secret. So
Well, I put in a smart coop. It's not hooked up to my system yet, but I do have lights at the coop and by the garage. And when we were on vacation, we had someone that took care of things. What I have it recognizing is when that person's phone arrives within range of our house. I'm going to have it turn on lights on their arrival.
nice. I like that.
So, if we're gone, I can have them come on and off with a timer. But if I know they're there, then I can say, why don't you just turn on the outside coop lights and the walkway?
Yeah.
I'm
like
not
that
creeped
idea.
out by it. Mike, you good with it with that technology?
Yeah, I think so. I thought you might have been getting into the thing of listening, and was it Google that was listening a little bit too much?
I think
both of
was
them
it
do.
a slide 16? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google got scolded.
Yep.
And I think it was just their turn because everybody has been, notified of that. Surely Apple, had, conversations that were recorded. I think they had some people that were hired to listen to the conversations and then to analyze the artificial intelligence to see if it was being interpreted accurately, all in the name of science. Yeah, that
Yeah, right.
kind of creeped me out.
I had something interesting just happen to me with my Echo, is that it just asked me to say a few extra words so it could recognize my voice and answer me as Dwayne versus nothing. And I'm like, that's a little that's a little much right there, maybe. I don't know, but it wants to now know my voice recognition. That, oh, that's Dwayne talking to me versus, my wife or kid.
I turned ours off because the TV was talking to it and it was answering the TV and stuff like that, and we don't need that.
I haven't had that, but one time it turned on my Chromecast downstairs on the TV, and the TV just started going. I don't know how it got to the power. I don't know how it powered on my TV, but all of a sudden, it's down there, streaming the History Channel or something, and it sounds like somebody's in the house. It's not for the faint of heart. Let's put it that way.
No.
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 We are tech talk people. This is what we do.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out so we can tell you the best way to maneuver it.
Okay. Now, we had a power outage, and
Yep.
there were power outages throughout the western United States right before we had our show. And one of our lead-in slides, was going to talk about the fact that there is the potential, allegedly, that foreign governments are tinkering around inside our power grid.
Yep.
Is that possible?
Of course.
I think it could be.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, we stay just short of politics here, but could somebody launch cruise missiles from somebody else's country and drones?
You mean Iran?
I didn't mention anything.
I think that at this day and age, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just for the simple fact of this, just think about how we sell off power and electric, or power and gas, and it might be one company's gas line coming to you, but then all of a sudden someone else is metering it and selling it to you. And same way with a different electric company. Now you can have not multiple, but a different electric company, and they're like, but AEP or your co-op or whatever ran your lines there. Shouldn't I be paying them? Well, no, not necessarily anymore. So I think any of this could happen now with the right person or group of people that could hack into stuff.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were getting into the thing where another country would make us all Amish for a good while and just shut it down.
Well,
We can have trade talks. We can get together for economic summits. But sometimes what's going on back home in some building where people are waging war against others, it's going on, and we talk 2 or 3 different levels. And I don't know, I think it'll be interesting to find out. But we'll step out of that one. We'll stay tuned and hope your lights stay on out there.
yeah.
One of the problems we have on campus is keeping everything updated. Today we had an active shooter drill, and the sirens went off, and we scheduled all of our desktops to come up with an alert message. One person was doing a 1903 Windows feature update at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It didn't go well.
No.
Did that feedback or something? What was the deal?
Well, when you are doing a feature update, you can do normal things on your computer, but it really kind of wants you to keep the power on, let it finish so it can reboot. In this case, our stepping in across the network to push out a message onto that person's computer was unexpected to the update, and it caused the update to stall. It corrupted Microsoft Windows or Office because they had an application open at the time. But it took about an hour and 15 minutes to fix up.
They didn't lose a lot of information, did they?
No.
Okay.
No, but the segue is, you have 1,000 computers on campus. How in the world do you take care of the updates and hope that they all work well? Cue the Firefox slide.
Okay.
Yep.
Firefox is one of the big browsers that we use along with the Microsoft Edge. And one of the problems is that when you install an app, having it go and automatically update itself without administrative rights. When we're told that there's a known flaw in a zero-day exploit for an application, you kind of want to do those patches and fixes. But we're always trying to figure out how you grant the applications permissions so that they can update themselves, but you keep the users out of harm's way. How are you handling it? You're letting Ohio State take care of everything, aren't you?
Well, yeah, just recently we're changing our networking model and scheme, that everything is being pushed by Avante as our management tool, and it schedules updates and sends you updates. Now, obviously, that could take some issues if your machine's off, or It also determines what kind of network connection you're on. Maybe it takes a long time to get the updates pushed to you. So, and not everybody gets the update at one time. It's scheduled, a group of people there and a group of people there and a group of people. Otherwise, it would just kill the network completely if you tried to, update our, 10,000 machines or whatever campus has. So.
So last month, you know, Apple came up with a new wearable. I just wear a little Fitbit with a cracked screen. But have you heard about what happened in the fossil world?
No, you were mentioning that there's a new person that has a new watch.
I believe Google has purchased controlling shares of Fossils so that Fossil can produce electronic wearable devices for the Android operating system. So what those were graphic images on a display. Those weren't clock faces. Those were not Fossil clock faces. So wearables are projected to really take off. I think the thing that they liked a lot about the new Apple wearable watch was that it was always on. You didn't have to, tap it or turn it on. That it would be there so you could see what time it was. And the criticism I thought was that they didn't necessarily have the sleep monitoring that some people would like to have. It's an electroencephalograph, or I don't know, it's taking your heartbeat and all those types of things. But some people that have just simple Fitbits say, I kind of like the way it tells me whether I'm getting a good night's sleep or not.
Yeah, it's hard for me to wear watches and stuff. It just kind of gets in my way, and it's been kind of a pain. I normally didn't wear a watch in the Army and high school and everything. I had a pocket watch. I was like an old geezer. But reaching into a cabinet full of wires just gets me hung up all the time. So that I didn't like that, and then I don't really like wearing stuff.
I got a new watch, and I got rid of our clock radio, and I have a cordless charger now. So it sits on a little stand, and I put a little clock face up that has an alarm clock. And so at night, it's dimmed down a little bit so it's not bright in the bedroom. But the biggest problem I have is like when I roll over in the middle of the night, my Fitbit shines.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just enough to alert me.
It is. Those things are bright, and I wish you could be able to turn them down as well, the Fitbits.
But I don't see you wearing anything?
Well, not at the current time. Mine's actually being charged at the house. I kind of let it die, and I forgot to grab it this morning. So,
well,
do you control your home? No, you don't have the smart watch, but I wasn't sure if you can control the home through your watch. I think you can do that with Apple, though.
Yes, you would be able to, because the Apple Home, if you use an Apple Home system, I don't know if you had the Smart Things hub and had it on your iPhone, whether or not your Apple Watch would be able to give you control to that application.
Yeah, I don't think so. We have a person here. Yeah. Give it time. We have a person here that is real big into some other home automation, and he decided to go with the whole Google Home, and I know he has a watch, and he talks to the watch, and it can do things from home. So.
Have you ever heard of Sense? S-E-N-S-E?
S-E-N-S-E. Yeah, I think so. I've heard of it, but
it's
not much about it.
It's electronic home monitoring.
Yep.
You clip onto your 220 leads coming into your box, and it's got a little device, and it goes out on wireless. What it does is it monitors the electronic traffic signals that are going through your home, electric grid,
right.
And then it tells you via your app what's going on.
Yeah.
Your
how much
usage,
power you're using.
It can tell you that there's problems. I don't know. I want one for Christmas.
Do you? I've been looking at those for a while, but I was like, are they really? You really think they work? I don't know.
Have you heard of Schneider Electric?
No.
APC UPSs?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Schneider Electric has purchased a partnership with Sense out of Boston.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm
then,
going to bet, kind of like Motley Fool goes on, stocks and bonds. I'm going to bet that Sense is going to become very popular, and we'll see more devices in terms of managing your home electric usage.
probably so. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Yep.
I see our station engineer has given us a 3-minute warning.
Okay.
What's on your mind? Anything you want to cover?
I think the biggest thing is I did hear, and I forgot all about it until just now. It just crossed my mind. There is another encryption out. It's been out. I think I seen it about 2 weeks ago, to where the new it wants bitcoins again and such. It's coming around again with a new encryption code. So, not the normal ones that they've been hacked.
So this is the new ransomware that
Yeah.
uses a higher level of encryption to get over your encrypted hard drive.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yep. And the way I was reading it, it is starting to attack phones. So that's the whole other thing, and mainly Android phones. So
Oh, good. Mike and I are clear of that one. This one's on you.
yeah, this one's all me this time. So, but yeah, they would. And when I say the phone, it would be more like if a lot of people will open up or view a PDF file or images like that. So it doesn't necessarily affect the operating system. It just doesn't allow those files to open.
Well, as we know with all of the exploits, they can be very complicated in their delivery to get
Yep.
things, but it all starts with the user clicking on something they shouldn't have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mike, anything for wrapping up?
It's just been a different experience having everybody in 3 different places, but I've managed to get through it.
Well,
There you go.
It's been fun though.
we're-
Interesting.
we're-
I've got to change some lamps. That's why I look so dim. I'm maybe some people say I look dim anyway, but
You guys look marvelous. I mean, I have to say, it's been my honor to be on the desk today, but it's been my pleasure to be with both of you at remotes.
It's always new technology. We'll keep chucking along as long as we can.
All right.
So
Well, Mike, are we on a countdown?
we're at the end.
For Tech Talk, we will see you in October. Have a nice day.